Hello, and welcome to Coffee with M and J.
I'm Mandy.
And I'm Jamie.
As moms, entrepreneurs, and community builders, navigating the highs and lows of life and business,
we share real talk and practical tips on entrepreneurship and everyday life.
Sometimes we bring on guests to share their advice and stories to inspire and guide us.
So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with M and J. Today, you actually get us. It's us.
Woo-hoo.
It's been an amazing season full of wonderful, fun guests. And today, we were kind of missing just these chats like this. So,
yes.
Hi, Mandy. And
hi, Jamie.
What's in your cup?
I'm drinking water. I've already coffeeed out. I mean, it's pretty early, but I've already coffeeed out. So I'm on water for the rest of the day.
All right. Well, if you're coffeeed out by this time of day, I think there's a story there. We might have to get into that.
What's in your cup first?
What's in my cup? Okay. I'm actually so excited today. I have somewhat recently upgraded my coffee at home. And I've started buying freshly roasted whole bean coffee at one of our favorite places, Embrace the Grind. So
it is my favorite place.
Okay, so then we'll just say it's our favorite place.
I
mean, and the owners are fantastic, and the atmosphere is great, and there's always a line full of people that love to talk.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while you get the one off that doesn't, right? But yeah.
I talk to everybody
what's
in
so
line.
Funny, though, is when I take my teenager there, he's always like, "Oh my gosh, why are you talking to all the people, Mom?" Like, even if it's, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, those are such cute shoes," right?
Right? Oh, welcome to my world. My kids, like everywhere we go, they're like, yes. Mom, can you not talk to everybody, please? But
I talked like at the supermarket, right? Like the person helping you check out, and I'm always super nice and friendly. And my kids are always like, "Why are you talking to them?" And I'm like, because I've done that job before, and it's actually a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
When they're nice to you and they know your name, you have a bloody name tag on. Use it.
Yes.
That is like my goal. Is if someone has a name tag on and they're serving me, I try to use their name.
I do as well. And the only thing I haven't even said what's in my cup yet, but let's shift. Let's shift and stop saying nice and start saying kind, because there's a difference between being nice and being kind.
True.
And, being a kind human is being a kind human. You never know when that one little interaction is going to totally change somebody's day.
Or trajectory in life.
That's correct.
Just don't know.
You just don't know.
What's in your cup?
Always be kind. So I do have Embrace the Grind, their espresso blend.
Yes.
That I get the whole beans, and I'm going a little bit. Okay, so it's half almond milk, half real milk. Ooh. I don't know. I'm going crazy today. I just wanted the extra.
You wanted the creamy.
Yes, and thank you for finishing my sentence.
Yep. You're good.
So that's what's in my cup. So Megan and Ron, if you're listening, keep doing a great job. We love you. And
yes,
that's what's in my cup today.
Always. So we wanted to chat. We've had guests on. We're finding our balance and our way, as everybody knows, not you both, because it's more than just us. But as everybody knows, like we're just, I don't want to say we're winging it, but we are a little bit, right? We're testing the waters and finding out what works for us.
It's getting a little more structured. As we learn and grow, it's becoming, our path forward is becoming a little more clear. We're figuring out things we really like and things we don't like, and always learning new ways to do things.
Yes. I'm a big proponent of there's always something to learn in life. Mm-hmm. So, here we are. Because of that, we're like, we need a podcast episode of us. We've had guests after guest after guest, which I've loved, but it is our podcast, dang it. And if we want a podcast, we'll podcast. So here
That's right. We didn't want, never mind. I'm not even going to say we didn't want anything. We have also had some experiences in the last few months.
Yep.
And we know a lot of you probably share this type of experience, and it is focused around community or in a
Mm-hmm.
loose way. Like we can
Yep.
take it outside of community. Um, Keeping all information always confidential,
Always. Yes. I
always.
mean, but in my podcast, I talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of the, uh, let's say, the other side of positive community. That's what we're going to talk about
Oh,
today.
tell me more.
So, I mean, you heard in my podcast where I talked about community hasn't always been positive,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that's kind of what we wanted to talk to you about today is that what do you do when you find yourself in a situation where the community you belong in isn't positive, or maybe you've went to an event and you feel drained and ick after, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? What does that mean? What should you be doing?
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to speak to that today. I mean, it's probably a little controversial. We might get some hater email. Probably not. No one's emailing us yet. So whatevs. Maybe someday. I can't wait till I get an email that's like, oh my gosh, I listened to the podcast.
Okay,
It's
so I
podcast at
go ahead, finish.
mnjscienceandmarketing.com. Maybe someday we'll get a podcast at coffee, but for now, that's where it's at.
That's where it's
So if
at.
you want to write us an email, we'll also put it in the show notes. How's that? We'll put our email in the show
Apparently,
notes.
Mandy really wants emails. I'm like, I'm leaning in, waiting for you to dish like,
Ooh, what am I
some
dishing?
recent experience. And okay, so yes, there are times that community serves us, and there are other times that community serves as a lesson or a reminder
Yeah.
or a sign. And
Yes.
yes, I went there because I've recently had two experiences where I either walked in somewhere or logged on to an event and just, I mean, girl, I've been feeling so good lately. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
been on cloud nine for a couple of weeks. I'm just so, I feel so energized, right? Like
Yes.
in this
I said
passion, this
spicy.
mission,
It's
nice and
it's Jamie's
spicy.
spicy season.
It's my spicy season. Oh my gosh. I'll have to send you the reel that I sent to somebody this morning. It's like, you spicy little cinnamon roll, you like
Spicy cinnamon
go
roll. That's
conquer the
hilarious.
world. Um, but yes, I've been a spicy little cinnamon roll conquering the world these days. Um, and that's the energy that I walked in with or I logged on
Yeah.
with. And by the end, oh my gosh, I felt kind of bad about myself. The other, I hated all the judgment that was running through my head.
Yes. And so what do you do when you've went into a situation and you know it's not your situation, right? So, I mean, there's a few things. You don't go back.
Mm-hmm.
You figure out why. Was it just a one-off? And maybe next time will be different. But if you for
Mm-hmm.
sure go back two or three times and you feel drained, you don't feel energized, and I'm an introvert, but I still can be energized when I go into community, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different than Jamie's energy from community, but you should never feel bad about yourself. You should never like if you're up there, but if you're sitting listening and you are not listening and you're thinking of all the other things you should be doing because I don't want to say waste of time because that is not the right word, but it's not serving you right then that's not the community you should be in right then, right? You
Mm-hmm.
need to find something that aligns better with where you're at. And it's seasonally. Sometimes you need a book club and sometimes you need a wine night,
Yeah,
which for me
so
would be seltzer. A seltzer night, right? Or water night. Like I just don't drink. So I mean,
I was talking to a mutual friend the other day, and again, without sharing any specific details, was
yep.
telling her, I was just at this thing and I left and I just felt yucky. And she said, Jamie, the last time that happened to me was this event, and she remembered the whole thing. And again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sharing any
Yep.
details. She got up and she walked out. She got up and she walked out. And I said, well, gosh, the one event I had, they would have definitely noticed if I walked out. They would have
For
definitely
sure.
noticed. Like there would have been no way to get out of there easily,
Politely.
politely. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Zoom, there weren't that many people on there.
Yep.
Like if I'd have just disappeared when I first felt yucky, um, but it does still beg the question, like, yes, there's a lesson there, but what do you do in real time? Like, do you get up and walk out? Do you just log off? Do you honor yourself in such a way that this is not right for me? Or do you do the polite thing and get to the end and know you're never going to go back and learn the other lessons?
So I think, like, for me, if I would have been on a Zoom, I would have just logged out. I'd been like, oh man. And then if
Lost
someone would have
Wi-Fi.
confronted
My
me about
Wi-Fi
it, I
just
probably
died.
would have been polite and been like, oh, I had bad internet service, or I don't know, my computer died. Probably would have fibbed a little bit. I'm sorry. But it's like one of those things, like a little white lie to not be mean or be mean. I probably would have given a little white lie. And not because I have no problem with confrontation. Everybody that knows me knows I have no problems telling you where the bear poops in the wood. But sometimes there's time and a place, right? And if it's going to hurt
Mm-hmm.
somebody's feeling for no reason, then it's just going to hurt somebody's feeling. I will tell a little white lie. So,
Okay.
but
Well,
so like the Zoom, I probably would have logged out. Um, but the actual in-person event, if it's noticeable and it could hurt future community, it could make someone feel really bad in the moment. Like you just suck it up, Buttercup, and I don't know, sing the ABCs in your mind.
well, it was really interesting because I was driving home from one thing that I did that I left not feeling very great. And the the clarity that came through from me for me was so much fun because I was like, oh man, I always want to leave people happier and healthier and more inspired or more grateful than I found them.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's like my new thing. Like, I think I'm going to
Yes.
start introducing myself at networking events. Hi, I'm Jamie, and I help you feel better than when we first started talking. Like, I mean,
You need to be
so
like Charles and find your little tagline. 24 shots and still drive home. What's Jamie's tagline?
yeah, I mean, how do we turn that into a tagline? You're the
I
marketing
don't know. How do we
professional.
turn what
Like,
I do into a tagline? Let's figure that out.
okay, let's figure that
Then
out right
everybody
now,
remembers what we
everybody.
do. I mean, because it's kind of funny because, like marketing, and then people are like, what do you do again? I'm like, "Mer, mer, mer." Or they're like, oh, so excited they hired somebody. I'm like, oh, you hire somebody that does what I do. So sad. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad it's working for you. Like, I'm no sad. Like, I'm not sad about them hiring somebody else. I'm sad about that I lost the opportunity because I wasn't clear about what I did. Right.
Oh,
I'm
you
sad for
had me
myself,
lost for a
not
little second, but now I'm
like,
back.
I'm not sad because I didn't get the business. I'm sad because it's me,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like, I wasn't clear enough about what
Oh,
I do that someone didn't go, oh, I need to hire Mandy.
welcome to my world. I
Yes.
mean, I guess maybe we're in the same world together.
Yeah. I feel like maybe this might be season 3. We need somebody as a guest. We got to figure this one out.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm having a moment, Mandy, where
No,
I'm
you're not having a
looking
moment. I'm talking very like we need to find someone that'll help us with this in season 3.
help us what get more clear.
Figure this out. How to be better about saying what we do. We need
Oh,
to have a guest on.
okay. I was saying, like, let's just use the rest of this podcast and let's do it for each other. But
I mean, we can do
sure,
that too.
I
We
mean,
can do
whatever,
that too.
whatever you want to do. Or we could go back to talking about what to do when you feel drained by a person, a place, a thing, a situation. I
That's
mean,
really what we
this
talk should talk
topic
about.
doesn't even have to pertain to community events. Uh,
No, for sure. I
we
mean, it's
almost
family events, it's all anything.
Yes, I mean, you
Church.
can even just be rant. I'll use the grocery store. You can
Yeah.
be at the grocery store and be around a person that you don't even know, but you feel yucky.
Yes. Yes, for sure. If you feel uncomfortable, you need to listen to that intuition on the inside, right? There's a reason why you're getting that alarm bell. Don't ignore it.
Hmm.
I think women in particular, I know it happens to men too, but women in particular, we squash it a lot of times because how we've grown up, not we need to be less than, right? We don't fill up the space. So we'll squash that internal alarm.
Hmm.
Not that I feel like I probably, it's been a long time that I've been less than, but I'm always pretty big and bold and just say, what's up? But I know, what are you laughing at? Did you
Snorted
just
too.
snort?
I snorted. I laughed so hard I snorted. I don't know. I don't see you with a big, bold personality. I hear you fired up sometimes, like on the phone
Yes.
earlier with the drivers. Oh my
Yes.
God. I was laughing so
Well,
hard.
don't be a dumbass.
Um,
I don't know what to tell you.
do not ever drive like a dumbass around Mandy, or you will see how bold she can be. Um,
Oh, that's funny. But I mean, okay, so I might not I'm not super vocal. I'm more of a quiet watcher, right? I'm an absorber. I absorb what's going on around me. Details, information, body language. I'm a watcher. That sounds so creepy to fucking say. But don't spit out your coffee. Sorry, Jamie. She just took a drink and I said that and she almost spit all over the screen. That would have been funny.
oh, I was afraid it
Um,
was going to come out of my nose.
we would have had to share that, just like the fountain of coffee out of Jamie's nose. But when you get to know me, I am pretty vocal.
Hmm. Yes, you are.
Um, and if I'm passionate enough about a subject, and even if you are an acquaintance and you say something that pisses me off, I will tell you. I'm like, well, I think you're wrong because of this. This is how I see it, right? Like, and I'm not saying like you're wrong, but like let's have a discussion about it because I want to understand where you're coming from in a subject. But also like sometimes you're wrong. No, I'm teasing, I'm teasing. But sometimes no.
Okay, so I'm going to do the chicken little thing and be like, what were we talking about again?
um the sky is falling.
Thank God this guy does not seem to be falling today.
Not yet.
What
Not
were we
yet.
talking about
Not yet
again?
today.
Um,
But we're
I
just
think
talking
we
about
got off the
community and
rails.
awkward situations and how do you get out of it, right? Like, how do you politely, as most people want to be polite about it? Oh, we were talking about the grocery store. That's where we were at. Don't spit coffee again.
I'm not spitting coffee. I
Okay.
actually just finished my cup's now.
Oh,
I'm so
sad.
sad. My cup is now empty.
Sorry.
I'll have to start cup number 6 when we get, when we wrap this. I
Number
really do
six.
think I have a coffee problem. I have intentionally drank, oh no, that's what I'll do. I'll switch to green and peppermint tea.
There you
I've
go.
been intentionally switching to green and peppermint tea in the middle of the afternoon because Mandy, I got one of those 15-ounce bags of whole bean coffee and it didn't even last me a week. It lasted me 6 days.
You drink a lot of coffee, Jamie.
I'm telling you, it may have gone from
But that also might be leading to the
reasonable.
spiciness.
I don't think it has. The coffee doesn't have anything to do with the spiciness. The spiciness. I'm going to jump your. I'm going to go back to something you said a minute ago. You said talking about listening to your intuition.
Yeah.
So there's this thing that happens, like when you listen to your intuition, the more you listen, the more it's right. The happier you get, the more you trust it, the more it comes, and all this spiciness is all of that.
Ooh, I love it. Maybe that's why I'm so spicy.
Because sometimes when you just know, you just know.
I just know a lot, I guess. That sounds so conceited to say. Fuck. This is for sure going to be an explicit episode.
If you're
My
only
bad, people. My
listening,
bad. Please
if
don't
you're
be
only
offended by
listening,
words. It's
I
just a
literally
word.
was just sticking my fingers in my mouth like I was going to gag myself. Like, who cares? Be conceited. I have have I just finished up a 90-day program with a client, and
Hmm.
one of her items, one of her action items, or this thing that I made up, called about magic wand moments.
Okay.
And she says, okay, the only thing is when I'm doing these magic wand moments, I can't do it without feeling conceited. And I said, so
Mm.
feel conceited. Like,
Yeah.
just feel conceited, like
Yeah.
until it doesn't feel conceited. Because loving yourself and being kind to yourself, that's not conceited.
No.
That's, I mean, you might look at me and say, Jamie, I think you're a little full of yourself lately. And I'll be like, finally,
Finally.
finally,
Gold stars.
right?
Yeah. It's knowing your worth
Yes.
and knowing when someone has gotten to the point where they've pushed past your barrier, right? And you're like, no, this
Hmm.
isn't okay.
Yep.
And I'm done. Right?
Yep. Yep. And I think, again, bringing it all back full circle to sometimes there can be, oh my gosh, I've learned so much this season and I've had so many amazing experiences out in the community. I don't know if it's
Yes.
all this focus on community or what. And we can talk about this more when we wrap the season.
Yeah.
We have had a couple episodes that have been a little heavy.
Yep.
We've had some
For
really
sure.
funny stuff.
Yes.
Um, and I mean, community absolutely can enrich your life and bring you joy and uplift you. But I guess when it's appropriate, when you're out in community and it's not serving you, if you can leave, leave. And if you can't
Yes.
leave, try to extract any lessons you can from it.
Yep. And
Uh,
have no shame if you've left.
yeah.
Like if it wasn't serving you well and it was making you not feel 100% the best or even 50% the best, like let's be honest, like why are you there?
Yeah.
Then it's the timing's wrong. Maybe you've outgrown it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to find new community.
Yep.
Maybe something in your life has changed. Maybe something in somebody else's life has changed, right?
Mhm.
It's just time.
It is. And there is this natural progression as you grow. Like if you
Hmm.
are someone who is doing the deep inner healing work or
Yep.
going out of your comfort zone, growing yourself, growing a business, um, people fall out of your life.
They do.
It just
Yeah.
happens. Like
Yep.
as you level up, your core values are going to shift and you're not always in alignment with people you've always been in alignment with. And that's
I would
okay.
say instead of shift, they're going to grow.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mix with words here.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. So I guess this is our podcast saying there's no shame if your community changes and it's not right for you anymore. Time to level up, woman or man. Level up.
I thought
Go
you were going to,
coach.
I thought you were going to say grow a pair.
I mean that too. No, not grow a pair.
Just suck it up, buttercup. Pull your big girl or big boy pants up and go try something different. Um,
Right?
I do. I love that we push each other out of our comfort zone, Mandy.
Me too. Me too.
And this was,
Sometimes it's a little awkward, but it's okay.
mhm. Yes. And I know some of Mandy's boundaries, so I will avoid bodily harm.
I mean, there's always a throat punch in there, so I'm just saying. Or dagger eyes. Or what the fuck are you doing?
What? You just threw an F bomb for what?
I am. Today is my F bomb day. Get over it. No, I'm teasing.
You're funny. I everything I do would be explicit if I didn't censor my mouth, and I still don't understand why I do. when I'm making reels, when I'm making videos, when we're recording, I try so hard to not have a potty mouth, but it actually is a little startling to people when they talk to me in real life and it's F bomb this, F bomb that. This is this.
So even right now, you won't even say it.
Fuck, 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 fuck. I say fuck all the time. Are you happy?
Oh, and I think that's our goodbye.
Okay. Well, then, fine. Until next time. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for following all the things.
I hope you had a spicy cup of coffee with this.
Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed this recording, please leave us a 5-star review and share with your friends, family, and of course, your favorite barista.
Thank you so much for joining today's adventure of coffee with M and J. You can find us on all major social media platforms, as well as MJ Designs and Marketing and New Soul Rising.
We want you to leave feeling inspired to live your best life to your fullest potential. Until next time.